What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is another chilly day here in Amarillo, Texas. I know, it's not as cold as the East Coast, but hey, 12 degrees and windy in Amarillo, Texas is freaking cold for us. So today we've got some mods to the Ram, but first things first, we got to get the Mustang out of here. The truck would not fit in the back shop, so I'm going to move the Mustang back there, and we'll move the Trackhawk out. So luckily for you guys, you're going to get an E85 cold start on the Mustang, and you're going to get a cold start on the Trackhawk since I have to move them anyways. It's quiet, I know, but that's all gonna change soon. Alright guys, so I got all the cars moved out of the way. I want to give one walk around of the truck before we put the spacers on, in case you're wondering how far they stick in. So if you haven't seen my other videos, you can see they actually sit inside the fender liner, just like the stock tires would. So the good thing about that is you're not going to get any rocks thrown all over your truck, like I'm about to. So you can see they all sit just inside the fender well. So like I said, the good thing about that is you don't have to worry about rocks or mud or anything getting slung all over your truck. So what I'm going to have to do is add some mud flaps because I do want to protect this paint. It is ceramic coated, so it's already protected. However, if large rocks and, I don't know, random shit off the road hits the truck, it's definitely gonna scratch it. So you'll wanna get some mud flaps if you're doing this. So let's kinda go over what tools you need. Really simple. We've got the Demon impact wrench, Demon torque wrench, some big ass sockets, Demon jack, some jack stands, and the hub-centric 2-inch spacers. So these are 50mm 2-inch hub-centric spacers, aircraft grade aluminum, so they're high quality. You'll want to get some anti-seize also to put on the threads. Other than that, pretty simple install. Let's get to it. So we got the spacer on, the bolts are tight. Now what we want to do is torque them down to 120 foot-pounds of torque. So from the spacer to the hub, 120 foot-pounds, and then from the wheel to the spacer you want to do about 105 to 110. A little more if it's like a 3/4 ton truck, because obviously it's heavier, it's got more weight on it. But for these half-ton trucks, 120 on the spacer and 105 to 110 on the wheel to the spacer. Alright, so now the front is done, and since the truck is on its own weight, this is the best time to torque down the wheels now. Like I said, 120 for the spacer, and 105 to 110 for the actual wheel to the spacer. But now you can see just how much they stick out. So they actually don't stick out as much as I thought they would, but the addition of a mud flap would be nice. because you won't get all the stuff thrown all over the truck. So, and let's compare it to the front, or to the rear, from the front to the rear. So there's the front, and so you can't even see the rear tire at all. So you can see there, the rear tire is tucked in. So now we're gonna do the rear. Let's check out the passenger side real quick. So there's the rear, and you can actually see that's how much the front sticks out. See it? So I think that's just enough to give it a little more of an aggressive stance. So now we're going to torque the front wheels down, and then we'll get going on the back side. Done torquing all the lug nuts down, so now let's admire our work. Jumping when the bass get banging. All I need is dope, so I gotta get paid. Never see me on a stage, just some money. So hopefully you enjoyed that Ram mod. Here's a couple things to remember. When you order a wheel spacer, remember to order a thick enough one where your OEM lug studs do not pass the spacer, because then the wheel cannot sit flush. Make sure you use anti-seize on the threads. That way it's easier to get off if you ever need to take them off. Always make sure you torque them down. Remember, for the half-ton truck, 120 foot-pounds for the spacer, and 105 to 110 pounds on the wheel to the spacer. Make sure you always order hub-centric spacers. Don't order none of that cheap crap on eBay or Chinese stuff. There is good ones on eBay. Just gotta make sure you find hub-centric ones and ones that are made out of good material. Aircraft aluminum grade is really good stuff. And then you wanna make sure the studs are made out of good hardened material also. So, that's going to conclude today's video. I've ran spacers on my Hellcat that went 9s at 149 miles an hour. I ran spacers on my Jeep that I put 30,000 miles on with a 4-inch lift in 37s and traveled to Moab and to a bunch of other places and never had a problem. So, for everyone that hates on spacers, there is some maintenance to them. I always found the best thing to do was when I changed my oil was to pull the wheels off and check the spacers. It just makes you sleep at night knowing that the spacers are torqued down. So that's going to conclude today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you always comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, VanV39, and we'll see you guys on the next one.